Hi everyone, I'm Kim Town, an embellish educator with R&K Distributing. And today in my sewing room, I'm working on making dinosaurs. So I made these once when my boys were little, and now I want to make them for their little boys too. The only difference is now I have these really cool embroidery machines so that I can add a little love note on the bottom of them so that they know who they were for. And of course I like to have things that we can pass down from generation to generation. But one thing that I noticed on this fabric is really inexpensive fabric, and so the fiber fill wants to kind of work its way through the weave of the fabric. And so we have a couple products that'll help us with that. The other problem that I have is I've already pre-cut my pieces out, and now I need to be able to get those in the hoop. Normally you would hoop the whole fabric and then embroider and then cut out your piece afterwards, but you can still work around that if you've already pre-cut your piece. So let me show you some products that we're going to use. The first one will be the Embellish Fusible Underlay Bold, and I've put this on the wrong side of my fabric, and what that's going to do is help prevent the fiber fill from working its way through. It's also going to fortify this fabric, this inexpensive fabric that we had to have because dinosaurs should be camo, right? So, but it is just a fabric prep. It doesn't take the place of stabilizer. So then I'm going to use my sticky tearaway in my hoop. I'm also going to be using the Rinse Away Clear Topper. And then another product that's really cool so that I can make sure that I get the embroidery where I want it would be our Embellish Sticky Printable Template. So let me show you what we're going to do. So the first thing I need to do is to prep the fabric, and by prep it I mean we're going to take the fusible underlay bold and fuse it to the wrong side of the dinosaur. And a couple things here is, one of the things that we want to not do is overheat the fusible. Anytime we overheat the fusible, we change the chemical compound of that and make it become permanent, and especially on a stabilizer we don't want that to be permanent. We want to remove the excess. So with this product, I need to make sure that my iron is between a silk to a wool setting. And one thing that I like to do so that I can quickly, each time I need to use my stabilizers, is I've just taken a Sharpie marker, and when I found the spot that my iron likes to, that is the perfect temperature for my iron, because we all know irons are not created equal, I just put a little Sharpie mark on there so that now I know exactly where to put my iron to press my items. The other thing is, when you're pressing stabilizers, you should never touch the iron directly to the stabilizer. So I always want to use a press cloth. So I have my underlay bold I'm putting on the wrong side of the fabric. I'm just going to press it into place. And this is one product too that I really like, because I do want this to stay in here forever. So if I just give it a burst of steam, that helps that to become permanent and becomes permanently part of that piece of fabric. The next thing I need to do is decide where I want my embroidery to be. So with my sticky printable template, I've printed off my template, and then I've just cut it out with just a rough cut off from the printer. And then I'll take my vinyl weeding tool, because this is helpful to kind of get into the corner. Sometimes it's hard to separate it from that paper. And I'll peel it off, and I'm going to position it on my dinosaur where I want it. Now I'm also going to use my weeding tool. I've hooped my sticky tearaway in my hoop. I've scored the release paper with the weeding tool, and now I can remove the paper. And now with the template, we have the cross lines, and I'm going to use those cross lines to line up with the centering marks on my hoop. And then I'm going to go over to my machine, use the positioning features that are on my machine to make sure that I start the embroidery in the place that I want it. I'm going to baste it in the hoop. I'm also going to, after I position it, remove the template and cover it with the sticky, or with the Rinse Away topper. Then I'm going to stitch it using my Embellish matte thread. And when I'm all done, then I am ready to construct the dinosaur so that both my grandsons will have matching dinosaurs that match the ones that their daddies had when they were little. So if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.